Jainism is one of the three oldest religions that originated from South Asia, along with Hinduism and Buddhism. It shares many of the same concepts with them. Jainism believes in samsara, but has different interpretations of karma. Jainism means to conquer, that one should abandon their bodily senses to achieve purity of the soul. Ascetic life, for example, is the most renowned symbol of Jains. Jainism is a non-theistic religion that started in the 6th century India by Jina Vardhamana Mahavira.
The ultimate goal of Jainism is to get rid of the life and death cycle samsara. Jains believe that every soul is pure but covered by karma. They think that karma is the atomic matter that binds to their souls. Believing in everything is a product of the cause and effect relationship, Jains think that karma is gained by their own desire and senses. So the goal of Jains is to eliminate all karma that covers their souls. After one abandons the desire and senses, he becomes a liberated soul and he lives in the peaceful state in moksha. He becomes a god from the Jain's perspective. Everyone has the potential to become the god, and the number of the gods in Jain society keeps increasing even till today.
Jains split into two sects around 5th century CE. The two sects are called Digambara and the Svetambara. The major disagreement that they had was the law of nudity. The story took place when one of the saints, Bhadrabahu, predicted a severe famine would occur. So he fled to a kingdom near South India with 12,000 monks. After 12 years, Bhadrabahu and his disciples went back to their homeland, but they found out that the monks who stayed have changed many of the traditions. They abandoned the law of nudity and started to wear white robes on themselves. The Bhadrabahu and his disciples could not accept it. They remained nude, and the two sects of Jainism were formed. The group that followed the law of nudity are the Digambara, and the group that wore the white robes were called the Svetambara.
The sacred text in Jainism is called the Agamas. It is a teaching from Mahavir, the most important and the last Tirthankara. Remember Islam and its last prophet Muhammad? Mahavir is like the Muhammad in Jainism. His teachings are orally compiled by his disciples and passed from generations to generations orally, because the Jains were not allowed to own any properties. Around 1500 years after the death of the Mahavira, scholars started to write down the teachings, and these believers also added their commentaries into the documents, creating the non-Agam literature, which is the supplementary literature in Jainism. Even though some of the non-Agam literature might be strange or seems wrong, no one cares about it. It is like the various recipes of the General Tso chicken. All of these documents are sacred and authentic to Jains.
Time in Jainism is similar to a cycle, which means it repeats itself after a certain amount of time. While Hinduism classifies time into gold, silver, and bronze periods, Jainism states that there are only two parts of time, referring to the ascending human progress and its deterioration. And time will restart after the final deterioration. Atheism. Atheism is the most important concept in Jainism, which means no god or no gods. Jainism believes the universe runs its own accord by its own cosmic laws. Nothing can be destroyed or created in the universe. There is no need of someone to create or manage the affairs of the universe. Hence, Jainism does not believe in God as a creator, survivor, and destroyer of the universe. Karma is not a process in Jainism as it is in Hinduism and in Buddhism. Jains believe that karma is a physical substance that occurs everywhere. It will bind to the soul of humans as the consequence of what they did. There is good karma and bad karma, which corresponds to good things and bad things. Good karma may lead to great identity after rebirth, such as a king, and bad karma may lead to inferior identity, such as a carrot or a pumpkin. Karma is the chain that prevents one from moksha. Good karma is the golden chain, and bad karma is the iron chain. The goal of all Jains is to break these chains. that is, the destruction of karma. The 5 Great Vows. The first vow is called ahimsa, or non-violence. This is the cornerstone of Jainism. All living things have souls, and all souls are equal. None of the souls had the right to do bad things to other souls. So Jains are vegetarian, and they only eat leftovers from begging. The second vow is satya, or truth. Jains think that any human emotions are the breeding of grounds of truth. They think that one should never lie to anyone about anything. The third one is called asteya, or non-stealing. One should not steal or ask others to do so, or approve of such activities. The fourth vow is brahmacharya, or chastity. Monks are required to observe this vow strictly and completely. They should not enjoy sensual pleasures or pleasure of all 5 senses. The last one is aprigyaha, or non-possession. It simply means that one should own no possessions.
One of the experimental and emotional part of Jainism is asceticism. Mahavir, the last Tirthankara, spent 12 years practicing extreme austerities before he was enlightened. In his asceticism, Mahavir stopped sexual relationships, fasted himself, mortified his body, helped others, and became a beggar. Through this penance, Mahavir finally experienced the soul liberation and became the hero in Jainism. The institutional dimension of Jainism is a temple Derasar. It provides a place for people gather together and worship. However, instead of worshipping gods who did not exist in Jainism, Jains worship the Tirthankaras, who successfully achieved the soul liberation. In order to observe the law of having no sensuous pleasure, most Jain temples are plainly decorated with white color. The law in Jainism is the 5 Great Vows, but it is so strict that basically only monks and nuns followed it rigorously. It is the same as the Sharia law in Islam and the 10 Commandments in Christianity. There are 3 jewels in Jainism, just like it is in Buddhism, serve as the philosophical dimension. The first one is the right belief, which is the belief in faith, meaning that all things are equal and everyone has the potential to liberate their soul. The second jewel is the right knowledge. Knowledge is intrinsic in their souls, and souls have unlimited knowledge, so one should focus on liberating the soul to get knowledge. The last one is the right conduct. It asks Jain to follow the 5 Great Vows. Ritual dimension of Jainism is meditation, same as Buddhism and Hinduism. However, meditation in Jainism serves as the punishment to oneself instead of a way to gain knowledge. Monks sometimes will meditate for 48 hours without stopping to gain more penance, and the more penance they have, the closer for them to liberate their souls. This picture symbolizes Jainism. It commemorates the 2500th anniversary of the Nirvana of the Lord Mahavira. The bottom hand means that think about whether our actions will do harm to others before we do anything. The wheel inside the hand is the samsara cycle, meaning that if we are not considerate to others, we will be stuck at the samsara cycle forever. The middle part, which is the forms of existence, swastika, shows that we have the equal chance for being born as heavenly beings, humanly beings, animal beings, and hellish beings. So our ultimate goal should be to get rid of the samsara cycle and stop the rebirth. The 3 dots above the swastika is the 3 jewels of Jainism. The arc represents the soul liberation, and the upper dot represents people who achieve the soul liberation will rest above the world. Jains classify everything into 2 categories: jivas, the living souls, which include creatures, and the jivas, which is the non-living objects. The atheism of Jainism leads to their unique creation myth, the non-creationism, which simply means that the world is not created by God, but by the natural laws. In addition, Jains also do not believe that one single people created religion, which is totally different from Buddhism. Jainism was formed with the 24th Tirthankara in different times. A Tirthankara is a teacher who knows everything and passes his teachings to the next generation. After the 24th Tirthankara, which is also the final Tirthankara, Mahavira, the Jainism was finally formed around 5 to 7 BCE, and Mahavira was sometimes regarded as the founder of the Jainism.
There is a Jain festival called Mahastakabhyasheka, which is held every 12 years to commemorate the Lord Bahubali, who is the son of the first Tirthankara and predicted the famine. Mahavir Jayanti is celebrated annually of Mahavira's birthday, which is on the 13th day of the month of Kaitra in the Indian calendar. Mahavira's auspicious birth is observed by both Jain sects. Paryushana is held annually, and it usually occurs around August or September. This is the oldest known Jain festival. It is a time for fasting and taking the vows, whereby participants impose restrictions and hardships on themselves in order to keep their minds firmly fixed on religion. Here are some key terms provided that can help us have a clear look at Jainism. Jiva in Sanskrit means soul, while ajiva means no soul. Tirthankara was the teacher who was enlightened and spread the teachings to other generations in Jainism. The swastika in Jainism is the four arms of existence, including sacred beings, human beings, animal beings, and hellish beings. Ahimsa is the most important concept in Jainism. It is non-violence, which was used by Gandhi in his protest. The population of the religion is around 4 million people worldwide who follow the Jain faith, and there's around 400,000 Jains who live in the US. That's all. Thanks for watching.